For today's STAAR EOC tutorial, the student will use a dictionary, glossary, or a thesaurus to determine or confirm the meanings of words and phrases, including the connotations and denotations and their etymology. We are going to take a look at the dictionary entry for the word intent. This entry, for all intents and purposes, pun intended, is a very typical dictionary entry. We are going to analyze all of the parts of this entry and to provide some tips and tricks for us to more effectively navigate our dictionaries. So we'll begin with the guide word. The guide word tells you the first and last words defined on each page. The guide word at the top left-hand side of the page is the first word that is on that left-hand side page. The guide word on the top right is the last word on the right side page. When you're thumbing through your dictionary looking for a definition, there's no need to even take a look at any of the other words on the page. You can use the guide words to help navigate the dictionary. There's no need to bog yourselves down with any of the other words until you find the correct page. Use the guide words to help you. The next thing we want to look at here is the entry word. The entry word is the bold-faced word that is being defined. The entry word is separated into syllables by a dot here. This dot tells you there are two syllables in the word intent. Intent has a superscript 1 next to it. That tells you, the 1 notes that there is more than one definition for this word. Some definitions in your dictionary might have 2, 3, 5, 10 definitions even. The superscripts let you know that there is more than one definition for this word. Next thing we'll take a look at is the pronunciation. This is separated into syllables and tells you how to pronounce the entry word. The pronunciation of intent is intent. You'll notice that there is a little accent symbol after the tent part of the word, which tells you which syllable is stressed. We pronounce this word intent with the stress or with the accent on the second syllable, as indicated by the accent mark, rather than intent. That pronunciation would have the accent mark after the IN. Part of speech comes after the pronunciation. This abbreviation tells you what part of speech the defined word is. N suggests that this word is a noun. If you look just below our original entry here, we have another definition for intent, which is an adjective. You will need to be familiar with these abbreviations in order to understand the part of speech that these words are. Next up is the definition. This is our bread and butter for our dictionaries here. This is probably the main thing that we will be looking up, or the main thing that we'll be finding these words in a dictionary for. The definition explains the meaning of the entry word. If there is more than one meaning, the definition is divided by numbers. Our first entry for intent here, we have 2 meanings. The first one says something that is intended, purpose, or aim. Often an example or a sentence using an squiggly line, forgive me, I'm not sure what that's called, to represent the word is often used to make the meaning more clear. Our example here says her squiggly is going to college. All you need to do is replace your entry word with that symbol. Her intent is going to college. Next thing we want to note is the plural form of this word. The plural form shows how the entry is written in plural form. Most of the things in these dictionaries, the plural will likely be just add an S to the end of the word, like chair and chairs, car and cars. But we all know there's those weird words that just can't be normal. Mouse and mice, goose and geese, octopus and octopi. The plural for intent, if we have more than one intent, we have intents. So be sure to note the plural form. The last thing we want to note is the origin. The origin, as the name suggests, shows the origin of the entry word, which is otherwise known as the etymology. Etymology is the study of the origin of words and the way in which their meanings have changed throughout history. Our origin here says, from L intendere, as stretching out. The L means that the origin of intent is Latin. All right, many of the words that you'll find in the dictionary originate from Latin, as does this one. And originally, the word intent is derived from intendere, which means a stretching out. These are the parts of a dictionary entry, and with these skills we should be able to ensure that all of the questions on our STAAR test and any exam that we take in the future that strictly ask us to define a word, these are 100% correct questions. There is no reason for any of us to miss a question that simply asks us to open a dictionary and define a word. Please use these skills wisely. Thank you.